Hey everybody, I hope you like the new intro that I have for my channel. I'm mainly going to be using it for my videos like these that you're going to be getting every Sunday. It's not going to be for my live streams, but you know, you're going to be seeing it on my channel pretty often. So starting off, I couldn't find actually any free games this week. I looked and looked and looked and I couldn't find anything, not on Steam, on Origin, GOG, couldn't find anything on G2A. Nothing that I found was for free, and I'm sorry that I couldn't give you guys a free game this week. So today we're actually going to be doing one gaming announcement, and we're going to be doing two news stories. So first off, for the gaming announcement, we actually have Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen coming to the PS4 and to the Xbox One. It's going to be released October 5th of this year in Japan. We have no word if it's going to be coming overseas to the US or to the PAL regions. I'm so glad this is actually going to be coming out in general just to the next gen consoles, because it is one of my favorite games currently on the PS3, and I absolutely love to play it. I've beaten it multiple times, and I've always had fun with it, and I always wish there was going to be some sort of sequel like they had with Dragon's Dogma Online with the PS4, PS3, and PC that we never got to see in the West. So hopefully this coming to the PS4 increases the sales with the game and the series, so that Capcom can be like, hey, maybe it's not a failure in the West, and maybe we could actually give them more of the stuff and let them have fun with the games, and we could push our products over there too. So this is always a fantastic thing to see Capcom, even if we in the West see it as a dead franchise, you know, it's good to see them being able to push it over towards us. And I hope this does get released in the US. Now these next two news stories are actually on the sad side. We have George A. Romero. He actually passed away a week ago. He actually died in his sleep following a battle with lung cancer, and that's very sad. If you know who George A. Romero is, he's basically the birth of the zombie figure. We wouldn't have zombies without him. We wouldn't have that. We would have never had the typical zombie if it wasn't for George A. Romero. We wouldn't have had the undead. We would have never had the living dead. We would have never had Night of the Living Dead. We would have never had any of these zombie movies. And it sucks. It sucks to see him gone. A man, a legend like George A. Romero gone. And if I'm not mistaken, George A. Romero actually made a cameo inside of Call of Duty Black Ops 1 in a multiplayer map pack, and that map pack had a zombies map called Call of the Dead, and George A. Romero was pretty much the main boss in it. And it's actually really funny and cool to see him in it, because he's really hard and he keeps coming after you, and he's basically undead himself. Playing it at the time was actually a really cool, fun thing to do. And it sucks to see him gone, and ironically, he's kind of living on in our hearts right now through this game in a sense, because he's undead. I mean, not to, you know, push off like a joke or anything. You know, it sucks to see Mr. Romero gone. You know, I haven't watched too much of the Night of the Living Dead movies or any of the movies he made. I've watched a couple back when I was really young, but I don't remember them too well, and it really does suck. I know who he is. I never met him, but I know who he is. I know all the movies he's done. I know how he affected the movie industry and the video game industry. And he lives on in my heart, and I remember him for what he's done. And so hats off to you, Mr. Romero. You are an amazing, awesome guy, and you will never be forgotten, ever, even if we tried. Hell, fucking probably 20 years from now, you're gonna pop up from the grave and be like, or something. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. I don't want zombies. Well, I mean, I do, but zombies are cool. Zombies, fun to hunt. Scary as fuck if they actually come after you. Now we have another death in the news. This is rather a sad news story this week. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make it like this, but this is the news. These are the most important things that I could find for news stories. So we actually have Chester Bennington. He's a lead singer for Linkin Park. He actually passed away a couple days ago. It's theorized that he died by suicide. When the authorities were called out, they were treating this as a potential suicide case, but I'm starting to hear in the news and the media that apparently it might be an actual murder case. I'm not sure where this is going at all. I see the story flip-flopping around, and at this point, I mean, I want the man to rest. He's done his due diligence. He's done his duty. You know, he's helped people. I know that. He was a pretty good guy, and he took his anguish out in his music, and he created beautiful, beautiful songs for everyone to enjoy, and boy, did everyone enjoy. I mean, you can't find someone that doesn't know Linkin Park. You know, like I said before with George Romero, it sucks to see people you know, people you grew up with. Like, I grew up with zombies, I grew up with horror, I grew up with rock and metal, I grew up with Linkin Park, I grew up with a little bit of punk, I grew up with My Chemical Romance, stuff like that, and it really does suck to see someone you grew up with, someone you listened to, someone you took inspiration from, someone you like, someone you loved, to just be gone, just erased like they weren't there. I think the hardest part about getting past someone's, I'm not gonna say the D word. I'm gonna say getting past someone's absence is getting over your memories and the loving embrace you want to give them. You have to, as much as you want to, they're in your heart, and you gotta realize they're in your heart. And as much as you want them back, as much as you miss them, the hardest part is trying to not miss them. I know you want, I know people do miss them, and that's the hardest part. That's what hurts the most, is missing someone. Missing someone hurts more than their death. And coming from someone like me whose mom passed away over a year ago, it's the memories that you've had with what they have participated in with your life is what hurt the most. Thinking back, dwelling on it, just embracing your past with what's happening now, that's what hurts the most, at least in my opinion. So thank you guys very much for watching this news story. I'll have you back again next Sunday, hopefully with a free game this time. I'm so sorry that I couldn't give you guys a free game this week, but thank you very much for staying tuned. I'll see you guys later. I love you all. Have a fantastic day. Or night. Or, yeah. Have a fantastic day. Bye.